So one of the last areas that we worked on to complete was the loft. So let's go on up there and have a look. Now that most of the things are done downstairs, we are going to move onto the loft. We've done as much trim and that sort of thing as we can. We're holding off on doing the trim around the doors and windows downstairs because the logs are still shrinking. So we have put on the bottom half of this wall under the mini split. Yet let's not talk about that corner over there because I don't have the brain space to sort through it. I'm still in painting mode. So, yeah, so we're finishing things up here. We cased in the bottom half of this wall. We're going to do some of the shiplap boards up there to meet the ceiling up there. Where are you? There you are. And that will be part of it after we do the flooring. So things are in progress, and the next thing is to clear off one half of the room, get the flooring in, and then we'll work on the other half of the room. And I need to start sorting through some of these bins and making them make sense. Okay, here we go. The next phase of what's going on here. We've got some gaps to fill in the ceiling boards, and we need to sand this ridge beam. And Brent's going to do as much as he can from upstairs, and then we're going to have to get creative. So we decided to include the loft into a living space. We thought it was just going to be storage, and we had many debates about down there making kind of living space, maybe putting the TV on that wall. And Brent wanted this 55-inch TV, so none of those scenarios was working. So we decided to leave the space in front of the fireplace as an open area so that we don't trip. It's kind of a drop zone when we come home from shopping and that sort of stuff. And then it just way less chaos down there. So at the end of the day, when we want to relax, we come on upstairs and chill out up here. So, need to do some dusting again. So we did get, as you saw in our sanding video about the sanding the logs and completing the loft. So I'm just going to show you that quick. So we got the logs stained, and we did end up bringing scaffolding in, as we mentioned. We went back and forth on that a few times. So we have the box stand area, so we've got that all complete. We put a little bit of trim up at the top there because it was near impossible to get a board that size in there. It wasn't working. So, and then Brent has the back side of this box. As I showed you, we had done the wall, and now we've got the box out. I'm probably going to paint this bottom side. It's just a piece of plywood. So we can store things back here. We've got a couple of tubs. One has wrapping paper in it. The other one has some spare blankets. What else? Oh, and then the other side of this wall, we've turned into, it's a bit of a mess right now. So we've got this giant garment bag. It's got like hockey jerseys, and they don't smell very good. I opened it up the other day and I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm not adding anything to that bag. And then we'll put winter coats and that sort of thing, the stuff that we don't normally use. So when you come, let me come back over here. When you come to the top of the stairs, we've put our TV right here on this stand. Then Brent has his shelves. We took some taller shelves and cut them in half so they would fit under the roof. And we angled the back part of the support system on the back so we could slide it right against the roof. And then it had this little box that I got from someone, and we just put the videos and DVDs in there that we never use anymore. Kind of thought about leaving them in the trailer, but the moisture factor, it's just too cold over the winter, so we brought them in. We can always take them back out to the trailer when we're going to use it. And then we have this chair bed that we've been using off and on for when we were coming up to the cabin, and it was just one of us. We would pull it out downstairs and use it as a bed. And yeah, got it from IKEA, fantastic price. It's not the most comfortable chair to curl up in. The dogs seem to have a different effect on that. And then my shirt when I retired from the city of Abbotsford, everybody signed it. Every time I start reading it, it brings a tear to my eye. Still, it's been 6 years. And then we've got our bench that we had in the trailer that's got blankets, and I think there's some games in there. Right now we have, Brent's chair is a outdoor chair, like a lawn chair kind of thing. We have been going back and forth about what to do with that. We've kind of gone, let's do a day bed, or maybe we do a like a chair bed situation, or a love seat, or so we haven't made a decision in that area, so it's up in the air as to what's going to happen for that second set of seats, or maybe 2 seats, so that 2 people can sit up here. Bailey doesn't like coming and cuddling with me in this chair because there's no arms, and so she feels like, I think she's gonna fall off. We used the trailer the other day, and she hopped right back in her usual spot, squished in between the edge of the chair and me, and sat between us, so that was quite fun. To this side of the room, I got these boxes which I made into like a little shelving unit. So when I was working for Purdy's, they were doing a remodel, and those boxes were going to go into the trash, and I'm like, can I have them? I feel like I could use them somewhere. So yeah, they just kind of fit them together and made a little shelf for some smaller books. There's Maddie's little resting spot, so she now lives here instead of in the trailer. And then just a few of our wedding photos and that sort of thing. And then I have my shelves with my collectibles. I also have my mom and dad's photo albums. My siblings had, well, one of my siblings had scanned all the pictures in, but it's in an iCloud. Well, we don't have iPhones, so we can't get to it. And I didn't have the heart to throw them away, and nobody wanted them, so I'm like, I'll keep them. There's a really cool book in there from when my parents immigrated to Canada, and they had a little notebook of like tips and tricks and things to do and not to do on their voyage, because they came across the Atlantic back in 1951 and 1953, and so they took the ship across the ocean. No, they were not on the Titanic. That was way before them. And then they took a train across Canada once they got to port, and landed in Fort Langley, BC. Anyways, it was quite the adventure back then. It still would be an adventure today, I think. Yeah, so I have a ton of photo albums and a few games and my notebooks and that sort of thing. And then we carry on. I got some of my memorabilia in tubs. I picked up this little cabinet for like office supplies and that sort of thing. I had gotten rid of all that sort of stuff. And it was just a little cabinet from IKEA. $40. How can you go wrong? And it didn't take me too long to put together. And then I got this desk, which we refinished, which I think we might give it another coat of stain on that. I picked it up from Fox and Thistle Mercantile in Yarrow. And they were getting rid of it. They put it up on Facebook Marketplace or gave a shout out. And I'm like, hey, has anyone bought that desk yet or taken it off your hands? I'll take it. I'm going to need a desk at some point. So yeah, we put the desk up here, and I have it off to one side so that I can lean over and watch TV as well while I'm doing some work. Speaking of which, I need to get to work. So that's the loft in a nutshell. Oh, and the flooring, of course. Same flooring as we have downstairs and throughout the entire house and cabin. That's the loft. So that's all we wanted to share with you this week. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Bye-bye for now.